I'm Jan Christiaans. I work for Mobile 21, which is an organization which deals with sustainable mobility. Well, basically, it's fairly simple. We teach people how to ride a bike. Why do we teach people how to ride a bike? Well, it's their sole solution or the best solution they have to get out of transport poverty. What's transport poverty? Transport poverty is basically a wicked problem which prevents people to develop a fruitful life, to be exactly. They have the feeling that they don't get to the right job, they don't get to the right education, they don't get to the right healthcare that they need just because they cannot get there. Buses are too expensive, getting a driver's license sometimes is too expensive. And there a bike comes in very handy. A bike is very cheap, relatively accessible for people with transport poverty. So learning how to ride a bike is really a good solution for these people. We invest a lot in community building. Community building, I think, is one of the reasons also why people are coming to us, because when you are new in a country, you lack a network, you lack people to cycle with, you lack really some people who can well, take you along, visit places that you've never been before. So community building is really important. That's why also for last year we organized the Cycling School Family Day, which attracted almost 150 people who came to us just having a drink, talking about bicycles. They could test out new bikes or just have a drink and have a chat with us, of course, because we still knew them. So it was a fantastic day, and the community building is really an important part of our work here. Well, we first got to meet somebody from the US Embassy during the prize ceremony, which we attended for Ashoka. So the US Embassy granted us a prize to enroll in an IVLP program of 10 days throughout the United States. And it's been a fantastic experience for us. If I have to name one word, or I have to describe it in one word, it would be recognition. We started with a very little project, little money, 8 years ago here in Leuven, a cycling school. And 8 years later, somebody from the US Embassy comes to tell us, we are going to pay you a visit to the United States, 10 days, you will meet tons of people. And the recognition that we got from that was absolutely amazing. It really strengthened our belief that what we are doing is a good thing, that it has value what we are doing. Talking to people even overseas that are doing the same thing, like for example the League of American Bicyclists or the Washington Bicycle Association, was wonderful people, and really they also recognize that what we are doing has value and it's really a valuable thing. So we came back from the United States with so much enthusiasm, so much motivation to really push on and to make sure that this project could, well, reach even more beneficiaries than we do now. Yeah, my two major takeaways from our visit to United States would be, the first one would be just do it, basically. The mentality of, well, the Americans, if I can say that, because we only saw a little percentage or a little fraction of all Americans, but of course what we've seen there is the mentality of American people to say, you've got an idea, you think it will work, just do it. Just go out there, start, talk to people, and just do it, basically. We Europeans or Belgians, we always have the intention of trying to, well, to overthink things and to try to, well, to make sure that everything is 100% right before we jump. In America, they just do it. Just go out there, do it. So that would be the first takeaway. Second takeaway was basically after a long conversation with a professor of the Portland University, which really, well, he put it quite bluntly, you have to focus, he said. You can do only so much in 24 hours. I feel you're really enthusiastic about what you're doing, and it's fantastic, but you need, for a business to work, you need focus. And focus on the things you're good at and make sure that those things are working well and paying, of course, before you move on to the next. Don't try to, well, to shoot with a shotgun, try to shoot with a sniper rifle. That was the biggest takeaway there. Well, I hope that one day we can say that transport poverty doesn't exist anymore, that people can get where they want, whenever they want, preferably on a bike, but if they don't want a bike, okay. but preferably on a bike, because I really think that's the best solution for them. So that would be my hope, to end transport poverty, at least in Flanders, and why not even farther than that, because also the northern part of France, also parts of Italy, even outside Europe, transport poverty is really, or transport justice sometimes, is really a thing to tackle. So that would be a hope for the future. I'm doing the things I'm doing because I really feel that there's more in people than they think. If I meet somebody, the first thing I'm looking for is what is your trigger, basically? What makes you do the things that you do? And sometimes they only need a little push to become more than they ever dreamed to be. Defining who you are, that's probably the most difficult question that you can ask yourself. I would say that roots per se don't really mean so much to me. It's the person that counts, and if he comes from Africa or Thailand or whatever country he's from, if I have a connection with it and we can work together, why not? So identity for me is really more about what you do than what you are. Well, if I could give one advice to people, I would say, don't believe that Americans are superficial, for example, because that's sometimes the prejudice that you get. But if we can learn something from them, it's the can-do mentality. Just do it. Just go out there, talk to people, try to put your idea into reality. That is basically the one thing I really took away from that trip, and that we really try to put in practice here as well. And that's some advice that I would give to anybody. Just do it. Your idea is good enough. Just go for it.